Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Jeremy, and today we want to talk to you about Eve. How would you like to be famous or only known for the worst thing that you've ever done? What if all anyone ever knew about you is your biggest mistake? A mistake that was so big that nobody cares about anything else you've ever done or ever would do. Well, that's basically how people view Eve. If you read the Genesis account of creation, you find out about Eve's role in the garden and her place in humanity. You won't find out a lot about her personality. We don't know what her struggles were. We don't know what her character was like. We don't know if she was a woman of faith and integrity. We just know about her biggest failure and God's original intent for her. In fact, it made her so famous that most people in Western culture could tell you exactly who she was and what she did, even if they aren't a follower of Jesus. For whatever reason, when Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible known as the Torah, he didn't provide a lot of information about Adam and Eve beyond their roles. I think we can learn some valuable information from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 and 28. Let's take a look together. The verse says, "So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, 'Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground.'" Sometimes men and women can have a view of women that isn't rooted in Scripture. They view women as less than. People present Eve as if she was some sort of second thought by God. Eve wasn't plan B. God is perfect, and so are all his plans. Verse 27 tells us that women are created in the image of God. I'm a parent with 4 kids. I have 2 girls and 2 boys, and I have never once looked at my daughters and had the thought that they were less than. That's not how God views us, and he is a far better father than me. The Bible tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. In verse 28, it states that God blessed both men and women, and then he gave them a job to do together. I don't want to get bogged down in what happens after the fall of mankind, but I think it's important that we recognize God's intent here, and that is men and women were equal in God's eyes, and that his intention was for them to be together. Genesis chapter 2 tells us that God saw clearly that Adam needed a helper, and out of that, Eve was created. That word helper is not the word slave. To the few guys out there that believe this, you need to understand that women weren't created to do things for you. They were created to work alongside you. Eve was created out of Adam's own body. The word helper is expressing working together. I don't know if people still do this, but when I was in junior high, they used to sell these necklaces that had 2 separate halves that could be joined together. When you dated someone, you would give them half of it. And man, saying that out loud just makes me realize how cheesy that really was. But you get the point. Even at a young age, we recognize that men and women were created to be together. If you're watching this and you're single, please note I didn't tell you that you were somehow less than because you aren't married. We find life in and through Christ, regardless of whether you are single or married. Paul even said being single is a gift. Marriage is challenging and rewarding. If you are seeking that spouse, I pray that you find them, but don't feel bad that you haven't yet. So to summarize, according to Genesis chapter 1, 27 and 28, Eve is created in the image of God, and she carried the same responsibilities as Adam. She wasn't created less than, but rather to work alongside Adam. God blessed her, and she was given a command to be fruitful and to multiply and to subdue the earth. After the fall of mankind, roles began to change due to sin. But Genesis chapter 1 gives us a great view of God's original intent for humanity. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for joining us on the Daily Devo.